Okay, so more Warframe, and finally we have our reimagined, reworked, revisited, everything amazing new Excalibur. His abilities have been shifted around a little bit. He's now got a brand new ultimate ability called Exalted Blade, and his super jump ability has been fucked in the bin. Now in the store at the minute you can grab yourself some brand new Excalibur skins, whether you want to get yourself the Prisma skin, which looks okay and it is kind of hard to colour, or you can grab his Proto skin, which has made a return. Honestly, his Proto skin is worth it. Not so much the Prisma, I don't think the Proto skin looks the best, but that's just my opinion. Now he's also got an awesome new helmet called the Mordred helmet, which I'm really liking the look of, and he's got 2 new noggles in the store as well, so if you like your noggles and you're collecting as many noggles as possible, then I'm pretty sure you're a happy chappy right now. So Excalibur's rework, what's changed, and more importantly, is he now fun to play again? Because before his rework he was a pretty average frame, or a weak frame, a frame that got nerfed quite a bit, which in turn pissed off a lot of loyal Excalibur players and maybe forced some of you guys to run with different frames, because Excalibur used to be really good and then they nerfed him and he became, like I said, not so good. So I'm really happy to say that now that's no longer the case. I feel that Excalibur is in fact a really good frame once again, which, considering he is the poster boy for Warframe, I mean his image is everywhere when it comes to Warframe, making him a viable frame again is a really good thing. So his ability now, Slash Dash of course has had some nice changes to its mechanic. Each cast will now allow Excalibur to dash or to bounce between enemies, cutting them to pieces if possible, or actually knocking down some of the higher level enemies long enough for you to kill them off before they can get up. It is a really good ability now, and it gives a nice amount of crowd control on higher level enemies as well. Not to mention it's still a great oh shit run button when things get a little bit crazy. You can just dash the fuck right out of there. Now his second ability, Radial Blind, pretty much stays the same except for one addition. Players have been begging for the Radiant Finish Augments effect to be incorporated into Radial Blind ability itself, and they've now got what they've wanted, as enemies now affected by Radial Blind are open to finisher attacks. And now all the augment itself does is 300% damage to finisher attacks, so it doesn't leave them open to the finisher attacks. Radial Blind does that itself. So depending on how you look at it, adding this effect to Radial Blind can either be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what type of player you are. The good thing is it allows you to dispatch of heavy enemies really easily, but the bad thing is if you enjoy smashing your melee button, then when you Radial Blind a large group of enemies and you're looking to mash that button to build up your melee counter for higher damage output, then you're going to find yourself stuck in a slow finisher animation for every enemy, which in turn can get you into dangerous situations. So you're not going to be able to just smash your way through a large group of enemies. You're going to have to finish each one of them off individually, which is a little bit slow, and it kind of feels like maybe the finisher animations should be sped up a little bit for that. Now his third ability is now Radial Javelin, and it seems to be the same ability as it was before. It's a little bit useless now since they made it an awareness ability, not a line of sight ability like a lot of players believe it to be. Enemies need to be aware of Excalibur, or Excalibur needs to be aware of them for it to actually be effective. Either way, it's nowhere near as effective as it has been in the past, where you could basically just spam it and you could decimate whole rooms. So that kind of leaves you with his awesome new ability, Exalted Blade. Now this of course is where Excalibur will summon his new energy longsword. This will be a scanner for the normal Excalibur, or a scanner prime if you have an Excalibur Prime. Once summoned, this becomes Excalibur's only weapon, much like Valkyr's ultimate, except he's not immune to damage like she is. Each swing of this blade will of course also fire a wave of energy in the direction that you're aiming, which will deal damage to any enemy that it hits. And Exalted Blade of course is an energy draining ability that costs 3 energy per second, so efficiency mods will bump that right down and mean that you can run around in Exalted Blade mode for a very long time. Now Exalted Blade's damage output is affected by just power strength mods from your frame and your melee weapons mods as well. So it is a very nice powerful ability. Now also, Syndicate procs for specific weapons won't activate while using Exalted Blade. So you won't see your Syndicate explosions, but you will see a damage increase to weapons that have these augments equipped. So weapons like the Scanner Prime, the Prisma Scanner, as well as the Jaw Sword or the Dual Cleavers would probably be your best choice when running with Exalted Blade builds, because these weapons have got damage increase mods and therefore those stats will be applied to Exalted Blade. Now slide attacks also give out a smaller radial blind at the end of them, which is really nice, but they don't seem to open enemies up to the finisher attacks like the default radial blind does, but it is still a really nice effect and it can help you get out of trouble if you need it. The radiant finish aside, some of Excalibur's other augments are really nice for getting your melee counter up fast and in turn increasing your exalted blades overall damage output. Surging Dash, I've been told by some of my subscribers, is a really nice option to try out, and so too is the Radial Javelin augment. Now Life Strike also works with Exalted Blade, which is great, so if you're in need of a quick heal, it's definitely worth having a Life Strike equipped on your melee weapon once you're running with Exalted Blade. Now the fact that Exalted Blade seems to be affected by melee mods and not really your weapon itself, then it means you can pretty much take any weapon you choose. I would definitely recommend the Silver and Ages, as it looks absolutely awesome on the new Attitude Era Excalibur, because he does feel like a brand new frame and he is a lot more fun to run with now, and having that shield hanging off your arm while you're using Exalted Blade just makes you look even more badass than you did before. Excalibur has also received a really nice buff to his default armor. He now has 225 armor on the normal Excalibur and 250 armor on the Prime version. So he can soak up a decent amount of damage now, whereas before he was a little bit fragile. I guess Frost and Rhino lovers might be a little bit jealous of Excalibur now, because he now has more default armor than both of those frames, which are renowned in the game, I guess, for being the tanky kind of frames, whereas Excalibur wasn't. Well, now he is. But let me know what you guys think of the new and improved Excalibur. Is he awesome again? Do you love him? Hate him? Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and hit that subscribe button for more Warframe, and as always, thanks very much for watching.